Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into episode 15 of On the Virtual Track. I'm JP. I'm going to be joined by Crispy and Jasper. You do not. We will get into the conversation we have just had off air very, very shortly. But welcome in. First off, Christian, how are you, dude?
I'm great.
Fucking hell, we ain't even gone anywhere.
I'm great.
We've been going for about 5 seconds. Fucking Nora. I can just see this going all wrong here, dude. I can literally, it's just going to go horrible. Welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. As per normal, we're going to start off. We'll touch on your journey within iRacing and sim racing and how far back we're going in your life to when you started driving. And then we'll do a little bit of personals as well. I've got... There's a fucking something coming for you lot at home, so just listen on to this one because this is you're gonna be blown away by what's gonna happen. But there we go. Let's start off. Right, you fucking hell. Let's start off. iRacing. Okay, so let's start off your journey. How far back are we going? Because we've been to the fucking 80s, we've been to the 90s, we've been to the 2000s. I think somebody's even been to 2010 plus. Tell us, how far back are we going in your journey?
Oh man, just for racing in general or iRacing specifically?
In general.
Shit, man. All right, so it's probably about 95. I was 5 years old. Dad's always, anytime we would come home from church when we went at the time, my dad would turn on the race, and at the time it was NASCAR, so it was Dale and Jeff Gordon at the time.
Okay.
Then he showed me kart, and it all went downhill from there.
Okay.
So it has been open wheel has been near and dear to my heart ever since I was a little kid.
Okay, so let's touch on that beginning then. So 5 years old, NASCAR racing with your dad after church. Are you a religious individual?
Nah.
Okay,
not
so
anymore.
Fuck that grew out the window clearly on that one as well. What do you remember the most about sitting home with your dad?
Honestly, it was kart that really stuck with me. Those were always the coolest because like NASCAR was cool and everything, but something about open wheelers like kart and IndyCar really just kind of stuck with me because they were so different. They were like planes. I mean, they still are, but those things looked and sounded like they wanted to kill you. And like even just looking back on old videos, they still look like they wanted to kill you. It was the coolest thing.
Dude, I think that was probably one of the best areas of racing. That 85, 95 era was just unbelievable. You know, F1 cars, you say Indy cars, the whole thing was just amazing. You had a proper racing driver in the car with a steering wheel and a fucking gear stick.
Absolutely.
And now you've got a geezer in the car with 57 buttons that do multiple different shit. So, you know what I mean? I'd prefer them days as well. So where did we go from here after that then? So did you start racing on any sort of consoles, anything back then?
I did, yeah. So funny enough, my first racing game on the first console I had, it was Kart World Series on the PlayStation 1. I still have my copy somewhere in the bookshelf, and it was that and Gran Turismo.
Oh, the
first one. Those were the first ones. I didn't do shit for the simulation modes on them at all, but man, I played the hell out of arcade mode.
I think that's the thing. That's the thing with them games as well. They were fun. You know what I mean?
It was fantastic.
Yeah, there was no stress. You did your online shit. You did your story if you had one. You did all your basic shit, and you enjoyed yourself. And that was it. And it couldn't have been cared if you were sat there with friends or on your own. You just had a good time. There was no pressure. It was fun after that. But I feel we're going on a journey. So where are we going once we've got the Gran Turismo and kart days out of the way?
It was Formula One after kart.
I fucking knew it. Everybody's in the same boat.
Look, it's not my fault Juan Montoya was the GOAT.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
I know. I agree with you. I do. In between having arguments with everybody on the grid and pissing everybody off, I do fully agree with you. Juan Montoya was the guy. I think this is the thing. This is the common theme I'm finding out once I'm speaking to people as well. Apart from some of the older guys, like Enquiries, like, I don't know, 70 or 60 or whatever it is. I can't even remember. a lot of people got to the Gran Turismo beginning, and then they went through the F1 journey.
Mhm.
Now, for me, the BTCC game that come out on the fucking PlayStation 1, I can't remember what it's called, was absolutely fucking amazing. But I think everybody's been on the same path. It must be an F1 kind of coming at that point where it kind of exploded. The F1 games come out, and next few days, you say, everybody thought they were fucking Montoya or Schumacher or whatever. And even now, you get the people in Red Bull liveries and officials, and you go, fuck, I am not going near you.
Yeah.
Because you know full well they're coming.
For sure. It's crazy. I think it was like F1 seems to have a habit of doing some of the weirdest things at the perfect time. So like they came out with the games right at the time that they kind of started getting traction in the States, because that was around the time they had the Indy. They were at Indy at that point, the old track.
Wasn't that the one where about 5 cars turned up on the grid? Was that Indy?
Yeah, that was one of the last ones. It sure
yeah,
was.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy.
There was like 6 of them. And you're like, okay, fuck it.
It was weird too, because I remember being super young and watching it, and they were still talking about it, and the commentators were like, oh man, I don't understand why they were doing this. And me and my dad were like, the other folks that are on the grid that aren't having issues are all on Bridgestone tires. That's just Firestone. Firestone provides all of the they had all of Indy and Kart at one point.
Yeah.
They were the main tire, so they had that data. Michelin didn't. No. Come to find out, that's exactly what it was. So Michelin was ripping their shit up on the diamond cut at Indy, and Bridgestone was fine. And it was like, that's exactly what happened. It was
R&D, baby.
Yeah, man.
They and Michelin didn't have any.
They didn't.
Bridgestone had it all.
They didn't.
And that was the thing that made me laugh, because even though they've come out and they'd warned them and they'd said to them, look, we're not fucking doing it. You are not doing it. Give us the fucking Bridgestones, whatever you want to do to get us on that grid. But we are not going out there on Michelin tires. And because they stuck to their guns and were like, nope, you're not allowed. You're not doing it. You go out and that's it. And if you don't want to go out, you're fucked. All right, we won't go out. And do you know what makes it worse on that as well? Is they still broadcasted the fucking race with 5 people. Or 6 people. Was it 6 people? I can't even remember how many it fucking was.
It was 6.
It was 6, but they still broadcasted the race.
It was 6. It was. Man, I can't even remember the other one. It was Ferrari.
Williams were on there as well.
Ferrari. No, because Williams were on Michelin's. Williams was on Michelin's because Montoya didn't race. It was Ferrari, Jordan.
Who else?
Oh my God. Fuck. I think it was Minardi.
6 cars started the race due to tyre controversy. Now, teams using Michelin, Ferrari, Jordan, and Minardi.
Yep.
Were able to compete, resulting in a very small grid. It was fucking 6 people.
It was some cornball shit. And they lined up in their actual grid positions if the whole grid had showed up. I was like, this is ridiculous.
And that's the thing, right? For the people who hasn't seen the grid photo, I am going to share my screen now. I just got to make sure I got the whole fucking the proper one. Because on the right-hand side up here, that's the grid photo.
Yep.
Of Indy. So this, whatever. So this is the grid photo there. You can see that's the Ferraris, that's the Minardis, and obviously Jordan in their buzzing Hornets livery, should we say.
And the Ferraris aren't even on the front row of the grid.
I know. You can count 1, 2. Oh, fuck off. 1, 2, 3, 4. They were 5th, 6th, 7th. 5th and 7th. And this is what I didn't quite understand about this failed thing. Is 1, they went ahead with it. 2, they broadcasted it. And 3, why the fuck didn't they just cancel and say, okay, fair play, you've all walked off, you've done it now, that's it, end of. But they didn't. They still fucking went ahead. And
they had the ticket money. That's my only guess. It was foolish.
Yeah, but that's not even a good watch for anybody.
Mm-mm.
Who would want to sit and watch that? I didn't understand it. But this is the thing. Once you get into this F1 series as well, now, for the first time in ages, I'm going to check my Steam folder now because I can't remember the last one I actually fucking downloaded. You get into this thing and then you sort of like start playing them a little bit as well. The only thing that I ever didn't manage to do is I never, ever, for some bizarre reason, maybe it's just a skill issue, I couldn't take off the corner racing line because if I fucking took that off, I ended up crashing into a wall or off the side of the circuit. Dude, I'm rubbish, right? Give me a break. I'm 47. You know what I mean? You know, I'm
I'll give
47.
you that.
Leave me alone. Okay. And
I didn't say it.
You didn't have to. I can see it in your fucking face, you cheeky bastard. The last one I downloaded was F1 2021. That was the last one I downloaded and played. I did get F1 Manager off Epic the other day. That was like £3 or something. I can't even remember. But this is the thing. And you learn I would say you learn your craft, but do you really learn your craft in F1 games?
I think to a degree I did. So it was really limited for me. So that was really all that I had. Go-kart tracks weren't like, especially in where I'm at in Tennessee, go-kart tracks really weren't a thing until as recent as 2014 here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really it. And in the off chance we could go to like, I don't know, some little shit bar and grill that happened to have go-karts, I could, put it to practice there, or, I could at least play the other GT games that I had, because I did have a wheel and pedal setup, but I mean, wasn't really much. So I could at least do something, but
let's be real about it. And anybody who sits at home and sits there and think we were on Fanatec wheels back in the 80s and 90s, we fucking weren't. It was a steering wheel, probably by some shitbox Chinese firm that none of us have ever heard of, and we had
that
plastic,
good old Mad Cats.
Yeah, something stupid, ridiculous, and we had plastic pedals, and we only ever had two.
Yep.
Okay, there was only ever two, and the only way you could do it is you either had to stick it to your desk with a big old suction cup, or they come with some dodgy brackets that you had to try and hook on, and that's where you sit back and think, how the fuck, from what you've got now, did you race with that?
Determination. It's a hell of a thing. I mean, that's the only thing I got. I mean, that's also all that we had at the time, because it was, I mean, relatively speaking, it was still pretty new. Because I mean, even when GT came out, we didn't really have much. We had, not even this. We had DualShock. That's it. And even at the time, folks were like, "Oh man, this is the bee's fucking knees." And I mean, for the time, it was. Yep. But then it's like, you have to have some sort of starting point to go somewhere. And looking back on it, it's like, ooh, I don't know, man.
Did we really have to start there? Could we have not started somewhere else?
Apparently, because even some games are still pretty successful doing that sort of thing.
This brings the debate in, and I probably should have put this into every single one and asked people's opinions of it, because I think it would have been very interesting. Game or simulator? Is there a difference, or is it still classed as a game regardless of what it's called?
I think it's still classed as a game. Simulator is a subset, if that's what you're talking about. Because it's on Steam and you can buy it off of Steam. It is a piece of software that ultimately you play for its purpose. If it is specifically a simulator, it's not out in the public. It would be.
They've got their own.
It would be.
Isn't it like oh fuck me? What's that simulator?
BeamNG.
There's one, isn't there? That's only available off their website. Is it that? I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some Googling.
I know there was R Factor that was used sort of like that.
Yeah, there was a couple, because Microsoft did Aircraft Sim. Is it Aircraft Sim? That was only ever available. That used to be available off their simulator. Obviously, the only problem with doing shit like that is you miss the boat with being able to put it out to more people on Steam and Epic and everything else, right? So I think for me, I go game, and the only reason I go game is due to the fact that, again, as you said, you sit down, you play it, you try and enjoy it, and you have some fun, right? Now, the only way I've been having fun lately is I've been pissing around in F4s, dude. I've been loving F4s, and I've got to be honest, I have. I think they've been absolutely amazing.
They're a great little car.
Mate, I've been good. I won last week at Tsukuba, Snetterton, and Lime Rock, all in 1 week.
Okay.
I did, I'm a fucking badass. I took my IR, right? This is how bad it was as well. And if anybody from iRacing is listening, just ignore what I'm going to say. So, when my son last year, 12, 18 months ago, said, Dad, can I go on your iRacing account? Because obviously, primarily, I just use it for broadcasting. Right? I don't do fuck all else with it. So I said, yeah, go for it. I said, but do me one favor that will fucking kill me. Do not get yourself banned. Okay? Because if you're banned, I fucked. Because I can't work. Right? So he went, all right, no worries. And he was about 6 weeks in. And next thing you know, I got a fucking protest come through. And I'm sitting there thinking, boy, I've never had one of them. You're lucky that's my first one. Right? And I said to him, you're lucky. So I said to him, don't want any fucking more. Okay? No more. 6 weeks later, I've got another one. I'm thinking, you're going to die in a minute. Right? You're going to be off this fucking game. So I said to him, look, you got two choices. You either learn your craft, race, come off that and go, fuck it, I've lost, or somebody's hit me, whatever, or you're not on it. So he was like, all right. So he did a little bit more and a little bit more. And then we started up his own one that he could get, do whatever he fucking likes with. Now, the problem is, what had he done to my licenses? Now, mind you, I'd never touched really. So when I left him, there was a lot of A's. There was two main A's. Okay. I went in. When did I start? So last week I thought, right, I'm going to give it a go now. I'm going to start having a play. So I went into my Formula car license. Right?
No, the fuck you weren't.
Well, let's just put this. I fucking did. But where I left him wasn't where I ended up. Let's just put it this way. I don't have the ability to drive the W13s and the other cars because my license had plummeted down to a C license.
Holy crap.
And I was down at 340 IR. Right? Now, mind you, I've managed to get... I fucking don't know. I've managed to get my IR up. Now, mind you, this has only been over the last 4 days. I've been driving F4s. My IR is back up to 1109. Okay, so I'm back above the fucking 1,000. I sat there and I thought, right, what else have I got to fucking work on? And then I went into my sports car license. Now, mind you, he still held me at a B. Okay, so I was still a B, but I'm down at 718 IR.
Oh.
Okay,
oh.
And then at my oval license, I'm still at a B, but I'm down at 812. So I've got some fucking work to do. Okay, so I've won some F4s. I've won some Talladega. I won Talladega today on the Draft Masters just purely because I could. So I think for me, one of the things that's made me do this, and people who know me know full well I don't fucking drive for shit, right? Because I'm like a builder. You go out and build all day, you don't want to come home and build a fucking wall. So I sit in front of a computer commentating on iRacing, and I don't want to come and fucking play it. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that's made me do it this week is, one, because I wanted to get my IR back up to above £1,000, and two, I've turned off voice chat, and I don't listen to a single fucking thing, and I've turned off that stupid little message bar, and I don't sit and get involved in the bullshit that comes with it. And I think that has just been amazing for me.
It's a game changer.
Yeah,
it's a game changer. Even in league races, I'll if there's just too much chatter, or I know that there's people in there who will just
bunny on and start screaming.
Yeah, I turn it all the way down, because the only person that I really need to talk to is my teammate if I'm racing with a team at that time. Otherwise, there isn't anything that I want to hear what anyone has to say. I'm just there to drive, man.
I don't want to hear people screaming because they've been taken out or Bob has crashed into them, or because, to be fair, I just did literally before we started. I did a F4 at Red Bull Ring, and we got through turn one, and then I hear the fateful fucking words going into turn one. You're 3 wide. You're in the middle.
Godspeed.
I
Godspeed.
went, no, I fucking ain't. I fucking broke and I moved out of the way. Nope, not having him. Not 3 white tail, 1 Red Bull ring. Do one. Because you can
Not a
guarantee
chance.
somebody's on the fucking outside on that little fucking sausage curb and they're coming across the
Yep.
the front of me. So I backed out and I finished fourth, I think, fourth or fifth. But I think this is the thing. People need to realise and that you are not going to affect world peace by winning a fucking virtual race in a virtual car on a fucking game.
Nope. Nope.
That's it, isn't it?
Nope.
You know, and I think this is where people go from here. And, you know, where did you go? How did we get from the complete F1 series into iRacing?
It was 2020 for me.
COVID.
Yep.
Fuck me, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I'm in the same boat.
It sure was.
Yep.
I had always had an interest in iRacing when I first heard about it, because it was in 2015. Was it 20? Yeah, 2015. I did the 3-day Skip Barber thing in Sebring. It was a lot of fun. And one of the instructors, Davina Gallica, she talked about it. She was like, yeah, like I've got a iRacing thing tonight. Like I'm going to do that. We have an IndyCar race at wherever the hell she was doing it at the time. And like iRacing was still pretty much in its infancy at that time.
Yeah.
But like there had been a couple of times where I had heard about it. So I looked it up. I was like, oh, this is dope. You can put anything anywhere and just have at it. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And they had the current IndyCar at the time, the DW12. It's DW Infinite at this point. But yeah, like it's always something that had at least been on my radar at some point, but I never had the means to get involved until we got.
It means that we're talking financial means. Dollar bill, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So it was like it wasn't until 2020 that, you know, we got the stimmies that I could actually do it and still have some left over to where I could eat and, you know, pay my bills. I was like, okay, sick. Fuck it. Let's get a rig. Let's get into iRacing. Some dude on Facebook let me use his like 60% discount for the first year for new people. So like my first whole year was like maybe $30-$40.
Yeah.
And the first wheel and pedal set I got was from an old karting teammate that I had. He was selling his old shitty Thrustmaster TMX. Lasted me a year, and then I just started upgrading things from there. So that's kind of where it all went, and how it all started.
I think the thing is as well is there's been a lot of COVID drivers, and this is where iRacing went kind of nuts. I think for me as well, because that's how I started. Please don't come after me. I walked next door because me and my next door neighbour used to be. Well, he don't live there anymore, but we're still close. So we were close, and we used to, at my back fucking fence, we used to have a barbecue and whip the middle of the fence out and sit there in each other's gardens, still fucking socially distancing, but we were having a barbecue. One day I said, look, dude, I said, I was still working at a time in a school, and I was still in there, and, you know, with the snotty kids and all this sort of shit and everything else, but I never fucking got it. So I said to him, look, you know, do you care? Let's just fucking sit down and have a coffee. So I walked in his house, and he sat on, I can't think if he was in it, I think he might have been in a rig at the time, and he was playing iRacing, and it was, I think it was LMP2s at Sebring.
Oh, man.
Have a go.
And it all went downhill from there, didn't it?
Yeah, and then it all went downhill from there. And then I joined the league, and then I did some commentary for the league, and then after that I didn't really drive. But I think everybody's been in the same boat. But the journeys that I find have been quite interesting to me is the league racing journeys. How did you get into the league racing that you're doing?
So let's see. It started out. I like I initially wanted to get into Formula One stuff, but I was also cool with IndyCar stuff because like those two have always been constant favorites for me. So it was just kind of piecemealing shit here and there. I'm like, oh, USF 2000 seems neat. Indy Pro 2000's cool. What's the Pro Mazda? That seems dope. I know what those cars are. So on the old UI, I found a league. It was the goddamn Open Wheel Series, GOWS, and they raced with Pro Mazdas at the time. That's actually where I met my my teammate Jeff.
Yeah.
So we it was God, wasn't even broadcast. It was like maybe 6 people at most at a time. And like I was doing Twitch streaming here and there just for the hell of it. I'm like, yeah, it's something I can do.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. Just show people
It's
some
cool.
racing. It's cool. Yeah. So I go in there and like there are some races where there's literally only like maybe 3 of us in here, but I'm just having a ball. So it goes from there. And me and Jeff are like battling the whole time. Then I find the IndyCar League, the RIL, and they had their IndyCar series, and then they had their Turbo series, which was them using the PM18. So so I was like, oh, okay. I raced that car. I don't meet the license points yet to join for the IndyCar series, so I'll join up on the Turbo. It'll be fun. Let's check it out. So I did that, invited Jeff over, and like he was able to join occasionally because he's on the West Coast, so it was still a little bit too early for him. But you know, whenever we could get together and race, that's how we would do it. So it went from the RIL. Then I eventually grinded out license points to finally do IndyCar stuff. And it was like just an absolute ball from there up into a point. So did the RIL. They had more like a traditional IndyCar schedule.
Back the fuck up.
What's up?
Up until the point, and then I had some weird little face means there's more of a story there.
I'll get to that. It was actually after the RIL. So like the RIL had a traditional IndyCar schedule. So it was like ovals, road courses, street circuits, short ovals, the whole shebang, like very much like an old kart schedule.
Okay.
So then it went from there to like, you know, I wanted more road courses. And then there were some other folks who were like, oh man, it'd be super dope if we had like IndyCar, but it was like F1, but we still raced at like F1 and IndyCar circuits, but we had standing starts. This is that up to a point. So so the league I helped run, it was the Formula Indy series. It's still up, but like I'm not adminning anymore. That coat is hung up. That is done. It ran its course. It was great. So we ran road courses with one oval a season. It was usually a super speedway, like either Indy, Michigan, or California. And the rest of them were road courses. And, you know, we do standing starts everywhere. Even if it was Barber, standing start. Road America, standing start. Suzuka, didn't matter. Standing start. So it was cool. It was fun. That's also kind of where I started dabbling in graphic design and shit, because I did like results graphics and stuff for the league. It was cool. I'll send them to you in a DM.
Yeah, let me have a look. I'm in the process of just getting an F4 league together because I've enjoyed myself so much. I thought I'd chuck an F4 together on a Wednesday night for GP British time, mate. I'm afraid, because obviously being British and all. But yeah, I'm just in the middle of chucking that together. So yeah, hit me up and we'll have a chat.
That'd be dope.
I'm not going to say I'm going to pay you because I'm tighter than the duck's ass, but you know.
Oh man. Maybe we'll see, but
or am I going to see PowerPoint graphics? Is that what I'm getting at? Pixar? Fucking Minecraft?
No, they were good because like a lot of the assets, I had help making them to a degree, so I could get some tips from another dude who usually does some of the car paints that I do or that I race. But I helped admin that series. I think we ran it for 5 seasons, so it was about 2.5 years total.
So where are we now? We're about 2022, 2023?
23, I want to
Okay.
say. Yeah, probably around 2023. And like the concept of it was dope. The community of it,
I agree. I
pretty
think
tight.
it sounds cool. I mean, this is the one of the hardest things for us being in the UK. I obviously on Facebook and multiple Facebook groups as well, and the same question always pops up: is there a British NASCAR league? No, I've tried. You cannot get the response that you need to run a league, because when we did have one, we had about 40 drivers. And it only took one bad apple to start an argument, and then the league crumbled really fucking quickly. And then you just can't get it back then, and that's the problem with it. You just can't seem to get the drivers back in who weren't involved in the discussions and the arguments and everything else. And this is the problem. But that's the same thing. You can't really get an IndyCar league. Oh, it's for you.
The hell it is.
Well, this is new. Look at the striped pajamas. Mom, I'm on TV.
Right, there ain't nobody I know that I give a shit about that has that phone number.
Is that your bat line, is it?
That's my work phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're turning that down.
Yeah, so don't do work. But this is the thing: you can't get an IndyCar, you can't get a proper British NASCAR league over in Europe or UK. But that's the problem. They do sound cool to have.
It was cool. It was really cool. And it ran really well.
Yeah.
Because it was just me and two other folks, and we ran a pretty tight ship. Like if there was at any point there was a fight, we would nick it right there. We'd be like, we're not doing that. Like if it didn't die down immediately, we just post race penalties. You're starting from the pits, or you're not racing to the next one, or we're just kicking you out, depending.
Yeah.
And it was, when I say it was cool up to a point, like a lot of those folks were from the previous IndyCar league. They would bicker a lot.
Yeah.
And it would just be a thing. And I'm like, cool. I'm not the one heading this. It's not my shot to call. But if they did that in our house, it wouldn't fly, which is fine. The problem is that I was actually working at the go-kart track in Nashville at the time. It was like, this is feeling too much like work, because the way that some of the folks were acting post-race, they would just immediately go to general. I'm like, y'all are acting like the people I kick out from the track on a regular basis. I'm not trying to do this. So it'd be that I'm spending a whole Saturday making graphics because we would post it on Twitter and the league and Instagram, and I would have like a completely separate Instagram template. I don't know jack shit about coding, so I would literally just put in all the data manually. Okay. So that would be like all day Saturday, and every single picture that was involved with whatever thing I did, it was a completely separate picture that I would also have to take from the race. So it's like, there's time from there, time to get in the data, and then time to send it over so it can be posted. So I'm like, I'm spending my whole Saturday for some ungrateful motherfuckers. Like, y'all are fast, y'all are cool to race with, but like some of the attitudes, it's like, this is getting too much. I can't do it anymore.
Becomes a job.
Yeah. So I was tired. We ran maybe 1 or 2 more seasons before we were like, we're kind of done. Like, it was great while it lasted, but like there's other things that we really want to do right now, and honestly most of us just kind of want to focus on driving. And like that was really where my heart was too. I was like, this is neat, I just want to drive. I want to race. So it like petered off on the last season. I think it was sort of laid to rest for, I want to say maybe about a year or so. And then someone else who was involved with the league, who would like ask us a little bit towards the end, he was like, hey, yeah, like I'd love to be an admin, love to do this sort of thing. And it's like, we're honestly kind of on the way out. So he asked us again after it had, basically died down. He was like, hey, what would it be cool if I brought this back? Like, can I use y'all's concept for this? And we absolutely gave him his blessing. We were like, do your thing. If you want to bring it back, they will come.
Yeah.
They will absolutely come. And they're there. There's folks from the old grid and there's folks from the new grid as well. I don't race in the Indy section of that series because they're more like they're the Formula Racing series now. I'm on the Super Formula end, but they still got the IndyCar end that's very, very active as well. So it's good.
So, how did we end up in Super Formulas?
As soon as it dropped, the car does everything I want it to do. It drives. It suits my driving style, I feel like. The IndyCar is a great car. It's very, very versatile, and I do enjoy like racing literally everywhere in that car. But it's probably a skill issue on my part. But cars that have cars that have some higher downforce and it takes commitment to go into the corner with some serious throttle control. That's my kind of thing. The more finite the control needs to be, the more comfortable I feel.
Okay.
So that's kind of what it feels like in the Super Formula. Like even on throttle shape 9, where it's supposed to be like the most linear, it still feels like it wants to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm at home.
So where are you now? Where are you racing at the moment? You still racing in Simpletons?
I am. I'm it's still just a Super Formula, honestly. Like quite literally, ever since that car came out, me and Jeff have really only been focusing on that car because it's like this is literally everything that we've been wanting. This is
that's not the Super Formula Lights, is it? That's the
correct.
Super Formula with the push to pass.
Yeah, the SF23.
Yeah, the big boy.
Yeah,
the one not far off the W fucking 12 or 13 or whatever. I don't even know what.
Yeah, right. 15.
I don't know. Fuck knows. The one that we won't get for fucking 5 years anyway. It'll be out a day before we even get it.
Right.
So how's the season been? Because I know you guys have just been finished. Brian Long set it up. Brian, man, I was there at the beginning with Brian when we barely had 10 people. And then Brian left. Then I finished, and then Anthony took over. Is that Anthony took over? Anthony took over, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's Anthony and Carson.
Yeah, Anthony reached out to me the other day, actually.
Frankie.
Yeah, speaking about new season starting in September, I think it is.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Somewhere around there as well. So we're looking at sort of entering into discussions, should we say.
Yeah.
All right, because, there was drama and it was just bollocks, to be honest. It just got to the point where you're kind of sitting there going, what the fuck are we arguing about? What the fuck was the discussion about? Yeah, it was just two grown men, two fucking stubborn bastards, basically. So, look, we've talked, we've connected, and we're going to set up a voice chat and have a chat about it anyway. How did your last season go?
So last season SR4S, it was all right. Could have gone better. I still don't think it'd be a complete season without giving you something to be upset about on my driving. Hopefully the next season will be a little bit more complete.
What do I fucking ever get upset about? I must have the worst reputation because I get DMs from people going, please don't bash me too hard. I'm like, hold on a fucking minute. I don't bash anybody. No, if you fuck up, then you're a twat. I bash you for it. But if you get it wrong, Christian, it comes
Lay
to
it down.
Bro,
lay it down.
Let me hear it. You're on my show. I don't care. You're gonna get it. If you're a prat and you don't hold your brakes, you're gonna fucking get it, and that's the end of it as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Lay it down. Let me hear it. I'm so here for it.
It's fun, isn't it? That's the thing. And if this is one of the things that people say to me, they're like, "How do you make what you do interesting?" Because to be fair, my dad's 80. He turned 80. Where are we? I don't know where we fucking are in the year. Where are we?
June.
He turned
Almost
80
July.
in the middle of June, beginning of June. And he still don't understand fully what I do. And I was speaking to a guy, because my son does junior drag bike racing. I was speaking to a guy at the racetrack, and he was like, oh, so what do you do for a living? I was like, oh, fuck. How am I going to explain this? So I just went, I do sports commentary. Oh, yeah, what sort of sports? Fuck, that's the next question. I do racing. Oh, what? Real life? I said, yeah, I've done a bit of real life as well. So what do you do when you're not real life? And I'm thinking, fuck. All right, I'll tell you what, dude. The easiest thing for me to do is just show you. Right? I'll show you. So you show it, they go, that's a game. And you go, yeah. And they pay you for that. You know? Yeah. Are they fucking stupid? Yeah, like, I don't know, are they? You know what I mean? and,
That's
and it's one of the questions that you go, I don't know. I don't know who's more stupid, me for earning money commentating on a game or them paying me to commentate on a game. I'm not really sure how the fucking question gets answered.
stupid money pays the bills.
And this is the thing, you never understand it, and people don't understand it either. But you know full well you're doing something right with it when people like you and others and all that, and they talk and about it, and they send you DMs and all of this sort of stuff. But you are right. When you do a season without it, you sit back and think, fuck, what would James have said? And I've had a driver reach out to me before, and he goes, please don't watch my race back. He goes, I know you recorded it in a day. I said, please don't do that. I said, why? What have you done? Well, you'll see. And it'll give me the lap and the number, because there's a league that I specifically, we do pre-recorded ones for. I record them after the effect and basically put them out for them. And he'll go, just don't. And you're like, okay. So when you record it, yeah, you know the camera's on them, because when you record it, I normally put a message in the chat going, you plonker. And they know full well I've seen it. But where do you see all of this going? Where do you see this whole fucking iRacing career? Is it a career? Is it a hobby? How do you classify it, what you're doing?
I don't know. I'd say maybe it's a little bit of both, because I mean, there's a good amount of time and practice for me that's dedicated to it. So it's a career-ish. I'm not getting paid for it, but I'm enjoying my time. I don't give a shit.
Where do you see it going though? Where's your ambition?
It goes until it stops.
Okay, I'll give it that. Most people will be like fucking 70. I've got a geezer who's 72.
Mm-hmm.
He must be 72 now. And he's still going.
Yeah, it goes until it stops. I've to be quite honest, it's for me, it's like a childhood dream adjacent. So like I've always wanted to race cars when I was a kid. When my dad introduced
real life.
Yes. When
So
my dad introduced me.
First up, have you done real life racing?
I do race go-karts.
Oh, cool.
Granted,
I'm going to presume that's an adult series, right? You're not racing against children, because that's
correct.
Okay, just checking.
Correct. So I used to race LO206 years ago. And a whole thing happened. I didn't have anywhere to keep my equipment, so had to sell it. I'm back in rentals with a new facility that just opened up down the way. Beautiful place, low-key plug, Music City Kartplex, gorgeous facility.
Other go-kart tracks are available somewhere in wherever Christian lives. There you go. Just go give out my disclaimer.
Yeah, like it's a great facility. They got a second track that they're building real soon. But I'm looking to get into two-stroke, either tag, X30, Rotax, something like that. Something that's a little bit faster, has a little bit more kick, something I can kick the back end of the cart out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking to do. With iRacing, especially when I first got into it, it was neat, because I want to say like maybe early 20s. I was like, yeah, there's no way in hell I'd be able to do this regularly, because this is too expensive. You know, this is money. This is all money. It's always has been, always will be. Hell, even karting is money, and that's money that I don't have, and I don't think I ever will have. But that's not going to stop me from trying.
Yeah.
And you know, with iRacing, I have a wider variety of cars I can drive. I have a wider variety of tracks that I could go to that I probably never would get to drive in my life. And that's, for me, it's probably the closest that I'll get to it. But with the amount of time, effort, love, and care that iRacing themselves put into developing everything for it, that's a good second for me.
Okay.
And for me to be able to do that and to just keep on doing that with the accessibility that it allows, it will stop when it stops.
Okay. That's fair enough. No, I'm going to do this section first because we haven't touched on it yet, but it's fucking coming and you ain't getting away with it. So don't even think that it's not even coming, by the way, and you think I've forgotten about what we were discussing in agreement. So that's on its way. One car, one track. Now, we do this every single time.
Okay.
If you could have one car, one track in iRacing, what would it be?
Oh, one car, the Reynard 98i.
Okay. IndyCar?
Yep, that is the kart car. The kart car for me. That was like that was my real true introduction to it all.
All right, I'm trying to find the one without the fucking halo.
Shouldn't have a halo.
There you go. No, that's what I mean. I was trying to find the one without the halo. There was people who have done mock-ups.
Oh.
Right. So
Let's
here we
see.
go. Let me see if I can get the right fucking screen again.
Honestly, even if you just Google, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. So that was the one. So
that was one of them. But yeah, that's the chassis.
Yeah, the V8 there as well. You can see all the stats on the left hand side. Is single seater, mid position, rear wheel drive. Okay, so where are you gonna stick it?
Oh man, I can't narrow it down to one.
Okay, that's the concept of the 98 Reynard with the 2020 aero screen.
Interesting.
Yeah, not massive. To be fair.
I don't hate it.
No.
I don't hate it.
Something's telling me I don't hate it either. But yeah. But there's some of the other versions that is coming here as well. So
I would,
isn't it?
Yeah.
That would be the most famous. Oh, you dickhead. Why would you? Right, fuck it. We'll just have this image. So there we go. This is I think as well, the 98i Target Honda. Now that would be if you gave that livery to a English person, they probably would recognize that more than most of the other liveries that are out there. So again, what track we sticking it on?
Oh man, do I really have to narrow it down to just one?
Please.
Probably Indy, because that chassis never got to drive it.
Indy Oval?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to bring that up. Everybody knows what Indy Oval looks like. If you don't, which fucking rock have you been living under?
If it was international, I'd probably stick it on Spa.
Is that because, do you think some cars are just suited to some lengths of circuit? You couldn't have this at Thruxton.
No, not really. Because I mean, that was still kart. They would race anywhere. Anywhere.
Yeah, but
they would race anywhere,
aren't you? Most of it was ovals, wasn't it, back then?
No, with kart, they were mix and match. They were racing in freaking Houston, downtown Houston.
Oh, okay.
And Long Beach, Belle Isle. They were racing at short tracks like Milwaukee and Nazareth, and they had super speedways like Michigan and California.
Yeah, I just wonder if certain cars would suit certain racetracks. I think that's the thing when I was just messing around with the F4 calendar, and I was like, where do I really want these cars? And I thought, fuck it, we'll fill the British F4 calendar. So it's like Brands GP, Donington, Snetterton, Thruxton, Knockhill, places like that. And I wonder if sticking the F4 at Spa would almost be too long. It's like having the Renault Clio in Nords. Do you know what I mean?
I think for an F4, yeah, to a degree, provided everyone behaves. Because I mean, at that point, it'd be like, I mean, for an F4 at that point, it'd be a pack race.
Yeah, and it'd be over 2 minutes long or over 2.5 minutes. Like, I ain't got a fucking attention span for most of that. Let's be real about it. So that's the thing, and I think, certain tracks will suit certain cars. I think Grand Prix circuits would suit that car. The likes of Spa, Suzuka. Possibly you might have a go at the Red Bull Ring.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, Silverstone GP would be another one as well.
Mhm.
So, I think there's a lot of places that car would go well in. Now, moving away from Iris. Sit comfortably, everybody. We had a conversation about a poster behind your head before we went live. Now, you can just see there as well. It's a...
You're talking about that one, right?
Yeah, we're talking about that one. We're
Uh-huh.
talking about that one. It's a woman dressed up as a fox. Tell us what do you get up to in your spare time?
What don't I get up to? Let's be real.
Well, let's go. Where are we going with this poster?
So, those who have probably seen my icon freaking everywhere in Discord, it's not like it's a secret, but it's goofy. Furry fandom, that's totally a thing. So it's basic, for the unintroduction, it's basically like it's like that. Folks make up their own characters. Think of it like a Comic-Con, but folks have their own superheroes and they dress up as them.
Okay.
Go ahead. I know where this is going. I'll let you start.
Let's start first. Why? What is it about this thing that I'm looking at that I can't quite decipher? Why? What is it? No, fuck that. Actually, fuck off. Let's go back to the beginning. What are you?
What am I?
Yeah.
Like, are you asking me what my character is?
Well, fucking of course. I know you're a human being and you're a man and you got fucking hair.
Some folks go the full thing. They're like, "Oh, you don't actually think you look like that, do you?" Like they go the whole nine. So yes, I do have my own character. It is a fox. It's basically just a palette swap of me.
Okay.
I hope you got safe search on.
No, probably not. I'm also not going too far, so I'm all right. The first few have been PG. I checked them out before I brought the screen up. So I don't even know if I want to go down this fucking road, to be blatantly honest with you.
Well, it's too late.
What does this achieve? What is it about Furbies or what are they called? Is it Furbies?
It's furries.
Furries.
It's subculture.
So what is it that you do?
Honestly, it's just nerdy shit. I don't really do much with it anymore. It's the way that the kind of community that it's become is so widespread. It's basically just a queer community adjacent. So that's effectively what it's become. And, some folks would prefer to represent themselves in some fictional aspect in the same way that someone might want to have themselves dressed up as a superhero for their icon or some shit like that. That's what it is for me, at least.
So is this straight, gay? What is it?
It can be. Like
which fucking one, bro? I gave you choice of two. Straight, gay, both.
It's complicated. It's queer. Like it can be straight. It can be gay. It can be whatever you want it to be. You opened this box.
I did.
You opened this box.
There are some things I probably should have gone down a rabbit hole now because obviously, this is all to their own, right?
I told you I tried to blur my camera on the background.
Yeah, I know. This is you did, all right. I'll give you that. Now, this is all to your own. Now, is this meet and greet? Is it meet, greet, cock your leg in the back of the doghouse, or what? Where does this go?
Have you ever been to like Comic-Con?
I'm in the UK. No.
Okay. Have you ever been? Have you ever been to any sort of convention? Star Wars, Star Trek, something like that? Because honest to goodness, it's kind of like that, except with more color.
Right. Do you have a zip in the front?
I don't have a suit. No.
You don't have a suit?
No. That's expensive. That's more expensive than my rig.
I should have got a fucking photo. You know what I mean? You should have sent me an image. But okay, so this is this something you're still doing now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and where does the line stop? Does the line stop at "Hi, I'm a fox," or does the line stop on "What do you want for breakfast"? where, where does it go? Where does it go? I don't fucking know, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh man. I guess it would depend on the context at that point, like it's not something that's like, oh man, my name's Christian. I'm a furry. It's not like that. Not for me at least.
So it's not like, "Hi, I'm Christian. Do you want your eggs fertilized or unfertilized?"
No.
Okay.
No,
Right.
it's not like that for me.
All right. Okay.
It's
So this
it's not like
is
that for
something
me.
you're still doing, and something that you enjoy doing, and all each to their own, right? Right. I don't understand it. I'm sure there's plenty of people that would, and I don't ever begrudge anybody do whatever they fucking like. I'm sure that I probably do weird shit that others don't think as well. I just didn't get that. How do you chase rabbits? What do you do? Like, do you come back with a rabbit in your teeth or anything?
No. Oh.
Dude, I'm asking it. Like, these are basic questions that I would ask.
They are.
I don't understand.
They are. But no, I don't do that. So, it is kind of funny though, because like that is a bit of a meme in the community. So like if you go to a convention, people will start a howl. It's just goofy.
Okay,
it's
then the whole play, everybody howls, do they?
Yeah. Because it's like, fuck it, why not? It's kind of like okay, think of it this way. So because it's queer community adjacent, the way that Pride started and the way that drag basically came to be, and well, I shouldn't say came to be, but the way that it took on the makeup form that it does now, it's basically like, oh man, these drags are monsters. And it's like, okay, cool. Nothing we're going to say is going to convince you otherwise. So let's make it into a monster and just go with it.
Right. Okay.
That's what it's turned into.
Okay, cool.
That's what it's turned into. So it's
I'm slowly getting a base of understanding of what this entails.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole nother conversation. I don't mind having that conversation with you, but that might need to go to DMs.
Yeah, we might need to do that off screen. I mean, before we go anywhere else. So apart from this and the go-kart racing, what other sort of things outside of iRacing do you do to chill out?
Oh man, so I play other games as well. I do RPGs, sometimes action games. I also do voice acting. That's just really where it's on my me time. Picked up working out as well because I want to do better in karting, but that's racing related. Anything outside of that, it's usually just kind of relaxing, chilling, running an anime night for my friends, and voice acting and gaming. I do a lot of cooking.
Nice. Do you live at home? Or you got your own place?
Yep, I got my own joint.
Your own place?
Yep.
Nice. And just a final couple of questions. What do you do for a living?
For a living? My day job is this is going to be a mouthful. So I'm an associate program manager for the Department of Anesthesiology Research. Essentially, I make sure our vendors get paid, in a nutshell.
So you're an accountant?
Not quite. I'm not looking directly at the books. I'm looking at the receipts and making sure the contracts are fulfilled.
Okay, cool.
Fulfilled.
Is it exciting?
It gets the job done. It's work that I can stand. It's easy enough for me, and I can just be like, fuck it. It is what it is. I can do my work, listen to music, and I can go home. The job stops when I clock out.
That's fair enough. No, I fucking fully agree with you. Unfortunately, mine doesn't seem to want to fucking do that. But there we go. Listen, that's what I do. That's what you do as well. Dude, I really don't know what to say about this conversation. Apart from I've had a great fucking laugh. I've thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Did we do a part 2?
I think if we went down the part 2 road, it would have to be a physical 18 plus. I think because we had to stop it at a bridge point, and I feel that crossing that may have caused me an issue. Spotify be like, "What the fuck?" I can see it now. I'll have to mark it as 18 or something because they'll fucking have a mental fit at me. But dude,
Probably.
it's been an absolute fucking blast. I've had a great fucking time doing this as well with you. And yeah, it's definitely something that we can hook up further down the line once I start clearing through some of the 60 other people that are waiting at the moment.
We'll say this. The Venn diagram between furries and car people, it's not a perfect circle, but that center section, it overlaps quite a bit.
We'll have this conversation off screen, I think, because
it's the money.
Yeah, exactly. As well, join us next week, guys. We've got Tim Walters coming on as well. Fuck off, Christian, in a minute. We've got Tim Waters coming on, who's going to join us. Tim's part of Son of the Bro Racing Team in the Tanzo Discord as well. But ladies and gentlemen, you will find this going up on Spotify on next week as well on the 1st of July. So much love to you. Thank you so much for joining. Christian, it's been a fucking blast, mate. I've had a great time.
A great time.
Thank you so much. Right, guys, that's going to knock it on the head. Thank you so much. If you want to get yourselves involved, links will be down in the description below on YouTube. You can find the video on the JBB YouTube channel. There's loads of them going up as we speak, so you can hook it up and get yourself involved on that one as well. But much love. As always, Christian, take care, dude. Have a good one, and we'll speak to you all soon.
Cheers.
Adios.